Stop scrolling. The billionaire owner of the New York Knicks just completely humiliated the mayor on live television during a championship parade. But the craziest part, the fans are actually taking the billionaire's side.
We actually find ourselves in a difficult situation because either we're going to have to finance our own separate type of ballot and conduct, or, I don't even know that the county has actually been consulted in their ability to implement such a concept.
The issue is already setting off a firestorm of criticism among Republican leaders.
I cannot believe that with a city that is unable to fight fires, to help broken souls that are homeless and drug addicted, that can't even stop crime on our streets or pick up the garbage, that this is what the LA City Council spends their time doing.
Wait, did you catch the pure contrast here? Let's take a quick pivot to Los Angeles. You are looking at a city struggling with massive structure fires, completely overrun sidewalks, and an absolute breaking point for local law enforcement. Yet, instead of tackling the raging homelessness crisis or cleaning up the streets, the LA City Council is spending its time pushing a ballot measure to allow non-citizens to vote in local elections. Think about the priorities for a second. When a local government abandons its most basic duties, public safety, sanitation, emergency response, and instead focuses entirely on radically changing the voter base, you have to ask what the real agenda is. Everyday residents are watching their neighborhoods burn while politicians engineer entirely new ways to secure their own power. It is a masterclass in political distraction at the direct expense of the taxpayer who is footing the bill for a failing system.
Nixon! Thank you so much.
Look at the guy sitting right there in the orange jacket. That is James Dolan, and his body language is absolutely screaming. The entire stage is applauding the mayor's speech, but Dolan refuses to lift a single finger. This isn't just petty drama, it is a massive boiling point of frustration. The city essentially hijacked his team's championship watch parties, completely over-policed the event without consulting him, and tried to take credit for the team's massive success. When private business owners, even the deeply unpopular ones like Dolan, start openly protesting local politicians on their own stages, you know the disconnect between the government and the people has reached critical mass. Politicians love to use sports championships as massive PR stunts to boost their own approval ratings. Dolan just completely stripped the mayor of that PR win, and honestly, the crowd absolutely loved it. It shows that even the elites are tired of the political posturing.
Should non-citizens be able to vote in LA elections? The LA City Council just voted to put the idea on the November ballot. Councilmember Hugo Soto Martinez proposed the idea.
I recognize the concerns around how much money it's going to cost, who's going to be eligible. What I believe the choice in front of us is, if you believe people who are residents of the city, who contribute, who pay their taxes, have businesses, should we explore how we give them the ability to vote in local elections?
For now,
pay close attention to how fast these ballots are moving. This is the sheer scale of the mail-in voting machine. Now, tie this back to the LA City Council wanting to give non-citizens the right to cast a ballot. If you remove the requirement of citizenship, what exactly does it mean to be a citizen anymore? The fundamental argument against this is pretty straightforward. Citizenship is a legal commitment to the country, its laws, and its future. It isn't just a basic residency perk. When you have a massive mechanical ballot system in a state where asking for an ID at the polling booth is literally illegal, adding non-citizens to the voter pool shatters whatever trust is left in the system. It completely devalues the exact thing millions of people spend years waiting in line to legally achieve. If there is absolutely no difference between a citizen and a non-citizen at the ballot box, national sovereignty is just an illusion.
We're very, very happy to have brought you a championship. I'm very proud of our team. Look, I don't need your vote. I don't need to quote to you, right, about what happened here, and because if you're real Knicks fans, you know it already. So thank you for supporting our team. We're going to keep working to bring you even better basketball, although it's hard to imagine that we get much better than this. But we will, right, fellas?
Just look at the sheer size of this crowd. Hundreds of thousands of people flooding the streets, completely united by a single championship. This is exactly what politicians desperately try to tap into. But there's a massive shift happening right now. The public is starting to separate their love for their city from their tolerance of the local government. Whether it's New York dealing with major parade drama, or LA aggressively pushing non-citizen voting while the streets completely fall apart, the extreme frustration is palpable. People just want safe neighborhoods, functioning economies, and basic common sense. Instead, they are getting virtue-signaling policies and endless political theater. The tension you saw on that stage between the team owner and the mayor is the exact same tension brewing in households across the entire country. The disconnect is totally undeniable at this point, and people are finally starting to push back against it.
Focus on immigrants who have some sort of status already, enrolled in DACA, or have active asylum cases. There are many details still to be worked out before the final language is on the ballot.
Look at the sheer scale of the building where these decisions are actually made. Inside those walls, local politicians are radically altering the future of the electorate without a single vote from the public. While the streets outside are literally crumbling, the council members inside are quietly drafting legislation to dilute the voting power of the actual citizens. This isn't happening by accident. It's a very deliberate, calculated strategy. When you consistently fail the taxpayers and watch your approval ratings tank, your only real option to stay in power is to find a completely new set of voters who will support your agenda. It's ultimate political survival completely disguised as progressive compassion, and the actual residents are the ones paying the massive price for it. The system is designed to insulate the politicians while leaving the citizens completely exposed to the consequences of these massive legal changes.
City Councilwoman Nithya Raman, who is running against incumbent Mayor Karen Bass, supports the measure.
I'm very supportive of exploring expanding this. Parents and school boards have done this in other cities.
We asked Angelenos about the issue. Some told us they needed to know more about the measure. Others support the concept outright.
I think that people who are non-citizens still deserve to vote because they are a part of our community, and regardless if they're a citizen or not, they still contribute in good ways to our community.
Now, we reached out to Mayor Bass's office to get her position on non-citizens voting. We have not heard back.
Look at how casual this drop-off process actually is. Now imagine this exact box being flooded with ballots from people who are not legally bound to the country's future. Politicians try to frame this as a simple issue of taxation without representation, arguing that anyone who lives there should have a voice. But that fundamentally changes the entire rules of the game board. When leaders realize they are actively losing the support of the actual citizens, their new strategy isn't to change their bad policies, it's to completely change the voters. It's an incredibly dangerous precedent. If the very concept of citizenship loses its primary right and privilege, the entire foundation of a sovereign nation starts to crack. And they are pushing it right out in the open, hoping the public is far too distracted to notice until it is way too late to reverse the permanent damage. Do you think non-citizens should ever have the right to vote? Drop your thoughts in the comments and hit subscribe for more raw analysis.